To understand the Dark Mechanicum's betrayal, we must first delve into the complex tapestry of the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Long before the current age, humanity spread across the stars during the Dark Age of technology. This era saw unprecedented scientific advancement, but also sowed the seeds of future calamities. As the Age of Strife descended upon the galaxy, Mars, the Red Planet, emerged as a bastion of technological knowledge. The tech priests of Mars, worshipping the Omnissiah or Machine God, preserved humanity's scientific heritage through the tumultuous millennia. Their devotion to technology bordered on religious fervor, viewing machines as divine creations and knowledge as the highest form of worship. The Adeptus Mechanicus, as they came to be known, formed a symbiotic relationship with the nascent Imperium of man. In exchange for technological support, they received autonomy and the Emperor's blessing to continue their quest for knowledge. This alliance seemed unbreakable, forged in the fires of necessity and mutual benefit. However, beneath the surface of this technological utopia, darker currents swirled. Some tech priests harbored ambitions that went beyond the strict dogma of the Mechanicus. They yearned to push the boundaries of knowledge, to experiment with forbidden technologies, and to unlock secrets deemed too dangerous by their more conservative brethren. The Horus Heresy, a galaxy-spanning civil war, provided the catalyst for these divergent beliefs to crystallize into outright rebellion. As the War Master Horus turned against the Emperor, he offered the tech priests of Mars a tempting proposition: unrestricted access to knowledge and the freedom to pursue any technological avenue, no matter how heretical. This schism tore the Adeptus Mechanicus apart. Those who remained loyal to the Imperium and the tenets of the Machine God stood firm, while others, seduced by the promise of unfettered progress, threw their lot in with the traitors. Thus, the Dark Mechanicum was born, a perverted mirror image of their former selves. The betrayal of the Dark Mechanicum sent shockwaves through the Imperium. Suddenly, some of humanity's most potent weapons and technological marvels were turned against their creators. Forge worlds, once bastions of imperial might, became nightmarish realms where the lines between flesh, machine, and demon blurred beyond recognition. In the wake of the heresy, the Dark Mechanicum found refuge in the Eye of Terror, a vast warp storm where reality and the immaterium intertwine. Here, free from imperial restrictions and bathed in the corrupting energies of chaos, they continued their heinous experiments and technological heresies. The motivations behind the Dark Mechanicum's betrayal were as complex as they were damning. Some were driven by an insatiable thirst for knowledge, believing that progress should not be hindered by moral considerations or outdated dogma. Others were corrupted by the whispers of chaos, seeing in the ruinous powers a path to true enlightenment and power. For many, the betrayal was a gradual process. What began as small compromises and secret experiments snowballed into full-blown heresy. The lure of forbidden knowledge proved too strong, and each step down the dark path made it harder to turn back. The consequences of this betrayal continued to reverberate through the Imperium millennia later. The Dark Mechanicum remains a persistent threat, launching raids to steal technology and kidnap subjects for their twisted experiments. Their creations, nightmarish fusions of flesh, machine, and warp energy, haunt the nightmares of Imperial citizens and the battlefields of a war-torn galaxy. In exploring the Dark Mechanicum's betrayal, we confront fundamental questions about the nature of progress, the dangers of unchecked ambition, and the fine line between devotion and obsession. Their fall serves as a stark reminder of the perils that lurk on the fringes of human knowledge and the terrible price of forsaking one's principles in pursuit of power. As we delve deeper into the history and motivations of the Dark Mechanicum, we'll uncover the intricate web of events that led to their fateful decision and explore the far-reaching consequences of their actions on the grim, dark future of the 41st millennium. The origins of the Dark Mechanicum trace back to the twilight years of the Dark Age of technology. As humanity's stellar empire teetered on the brink of collapse, Mars stood as a bastion of scientific knowledge. The tech priests, who would later form the Adeptus Mechanicus, salvaged what they could from the wreckage of human civilization, hoarding blueprints, STC templates, and arcane technologies. During the Age of Strife, Mars became isolated from Terra and the rest of humanity. In this period of darkness, the cult Mechanicus evolved, blending technological expertise with religious fervor. The Martian tech priests began to view machines as manifestations of the divine, and knowledge became their form of worship. This isolation allowed divergent philosophies to take root, setting the stage for future conflicts. When the Emperor of Mankind reunited Terra and Mars, he struck a bargain with the tech priests. In exchange for their allegiance and technological support, he granted them autonomy and the freedom to continue their quest for knowledge. This agreement, known as the Treaty of Mars, seemed to cement the Mechanicus as a pillar of the nascent Imperium. However, beneath the surface of this alliance, tensions simmered. Some tech priests chafed at the restrictions imposed by imperial doctrine and the conservative elements within their own ranks. These individuals, driven by an insatiable curiosity, began to explore avenues of research deemed heretical by their peers. The seeds of the Dark Mechanicum were sown in secret laboratories and hidden forges across Mars and its colony worlds. Tech priests experimenting with artificial intelligence, unrestricted cybernetics, and warp-based technologies formed clandestine networks, sharing forbidden knowledge and pushing the boundaries of what was considered acceptable. As the Great Crusade spread across the galaxy, these maverick tech priests found new opportunities to pursue their research. On distant worlds, far from the watchful eyes of their superiors, they delved into alien technologies and arcane sciences. Some even began to dabble in the forbidden arts of the warp, seeing in its chaotic energies a path to unimaginable technological breakthroughs. The Horus Heresy served as the catalyst that transformed these disparate groups of renegade tech priests into the cohesive force known as the Dark Mechanicum. When Horus, the Emperor's favored son, turned against his father, he offered the discontented elements within the Mechanicus a tantalizing proposition: complete freedom to pursue any avenue of research, unbound by moral or doctrinal constraints. This offer resonated deeply with those tech priests who had long chafed under the restrictions of the cult Mechanicus. In Horus and the forces of chaos, they saw a means to achieve their loftiest ambitions and unlock the secrets of the universe. The promise of unrestricted access to knowledge proved too tempting to resist. The schism that followed tore the Adeptus Mechanicus apart. On Mars itself, a bitter civil war erupted between loyalist and traitor factions. The conflict, known as the Schism of Mars, saw brother turn against brother as the Red Planet became a battleground of titanic war machines and arcane weaponry. As the heresy spread across the galaxy, more and more Forge worlds fell to the Dark Mechanicum. These planets, once centers of imperial industry and technological innovation, were transformed into nightmarish realms where the boundaries between organic, mechanical, and demonic were blurred beyond recognition. The Dark Mechanicum's betrayal was not merely a rejection of imperial authority, but a fundamental shift in their relationship with technology and knowledge. Where the loyal Adeptus Mechanicus viewed technology as a means to serve humanity and honor the Omnitia, the Dark Mechanicum saw it as a path to transcendence and power. In the crucible of the Horus Heresy, the Dark Mechanicum forged unholy alliances with the forces of chaos. Merging warp sorcery with advanced technology, they created abominations that defied the laws of nature and sanity. Demon engines, possessed machines, and cybernetic monstrosities became their hallmarks, blending the precision of technology with the raw, unpredictable power of the warp. The fall of Horus and the ultimate defeat of the traitor forces did not spell the end for the Dark Mechanicum. Instead, they retreated to the Eye of Terror and other warp-tainted regions of space. In these hellish realms where reality itself bends to the whims of chaos, they continued their forbidden experiments and technological heresies. Cut off from the resources of the Imperium, the Dark Mechanicum adapted, scavenging and repurposing whatever technology they could find. They became masters of techno-sorcery, combining their scientific knowledge with the raw power of the warp to create wonders and horrors beyond imagination. Over the millennia, the Dark Mechanicum has evolved into a diverse and fractious group. Some warbands align themselves with specific chaos gods, channeling their patrons' energies into their creations. Others remain relatively independent, pursuing their own agendas and selling their services to the highest bidder. The Dark Mechanicum's influence extends far beyond their own ranks. Many Chaos Space Marine warbands and renegade Imperial forces rely on their technological expertise to maintain their war machines and spacecraft. This has allowed the Dark Mechanicum to spread their corrupted technologies across the galaxy, seeding worlds with their tainted creations. One of the most significant contributions of the Dark Mechanicum to the forces of chaos has been the creation and maintenance of demon engines. These terrifying war machines, which housebound demons within frames of warp-forged metal, represent the ultimate fusion of technology and chaos. From the lumbering defilers to the swift helldrakes, demon engines have become a staple of chaos armies, embodying the Dark Mechanicum's twisted vision of technological advancement. The pursuit of knowledge remains a driving force for many within the Dark Mechanicum. They continue to push the boundaries of what is possible, conducting experiments that blend the organic, the mechanical, and the demonic in ways that defy comprehension. Some seek to unlock the secrets of life itself, creating monstrous hybrids and self-aware machines. Others delve into the nature of reality, attempting to harness the raw energies of the warp to reshape the material universe. This unquenchable thirst for knowledge and power has led the Dark Mechanicum to explore the darkest corners of the galaxy. They have been known to raid Imperial worlds for rare technologies, infiltrate Aldari craft worlds in search of ancient secrets, and even attempt to reverse engineer Necron technology. No source of knowledge is too dangerous or forbidden for these renegade tech priests. The relationship between the Dark Mechanicum and the Chaos Gods is complex and often fraught with danger. While some members fully embrace the worship of the ruinous powers, others view them merely as tools to be used in their quest for knowledge. This pragmatic approach has sometimes led to conflict with more zealous Chaos worshippers, but it has also allowed the Dark Mechanicum to maintain a degree of independence within the forces of chaos. As the 41st millennium draws to a close, the Dark Mechanicum remains a potent threat to the Imperium and a constant reminder of the dangers of unchecked technological progress. Their raids on Imperial worlds sow terror and destruction, while their corrupted creations continue to plague battlefields across the galaxy. The legacy of the Dark Mechanicum's betrayal serves as a cautionary tale within the Adeptus Mechanicus. It has led to increased vigilance against techno-heresy and a more dogmatic approach to technological innovation. This conservatism, while protecting against corruption, has also stifled progress within the Imperium, further widening the technological gap between humanity and its enemies. In the grand tapestry of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, the Dark Mechanicum stands as a testament to the corrupting influence of power and the dangers of pursuing knowledge without ethical constraints. Their story is one of ambition, betrayal, and the terrible price of forsaking one's principles in the pursuit of progress. As the galaxy plunges deeper into conflict, the Dark Mechanicum continues to evolve, their twisted creations a dark mirror of what humanity's technological future might have been. Twisted beyond recognition, the Dark Mechanicum embodies the corrupting influence of chaos on technology and human ambition. Their appearance alone sets them apart from their loyalist counterparts, with mechadendrites writhing like serpents and augmetics fused with demonic flesh. Glowing runes etched into metal skin pulse with unholy energy, while eyes that once gazed upon sacred machine spirits now burn with the fires of the warp. At the core of the Dark Mechanicum's ideology lies an insatiable hunger for knowledge and power. Unlike the Adeptus Mechanicus, who revere technology as divine and approach innovation with cautious reverence, the Dark Mechanicum sees no boundaries in their pursuit of advancement. They view the fusion of flesh, machine, and warp energies as the ultimate path to enlightenment, pushing the limits of what is possible and sane. Their workshops and forges are nightmarish realms where the laws of physics bend to the will of their mad creators. Gravity fluctuates wildly, time flows erratically, and reality itself seems to warp and twist. In these hellish laboratories, the Dark Mechanicum conducts experiments that blend the arcane arts of techno-sorcery with the raw power of chaos. One of the most striking features of the Dark Mechanicum is their mastery of demon engines. These terrifying war machines housebound demons within frames of warp-forged metal, creating symbiotic monstrosities that combine the worst aspects of both realms. From the towering defilers that stalk battlefields on arachnid legs to the soaring helldrakes that rain fire from above, demon engines exemplify the Dark Mechanicum's twisted vision of progress. The heretics, as individual members of the Dark Mechanicum are often called, possess an intuitive understanding of technology that borders on the supernatural. Where loyalist tech priests rely on carefully codified rituals and rites, heretics commune directly with the machine spirits, or what remains of them after corruption. This intimate connection allows them to coax impossible performances from their creations, pushing machinery far beyond its intended limits. Augmentation among the Dark Mechanicum takes on a grotesque character. While the Adeptus Mechanicus replaces flesh with sanctified bionics, the Dark Mechanicum fuses their bodies with a chaotic blend of machine parts, mutated flesh, and demonic entities. It's not uncommon to see a heretic with multiple limbs of varying origins, each one a unique abomination of science and sorcery. Their approach to artificial intelligence stands in stark contrast to imperial doctrine, where the Adeptus Mechanicus shuns true AI, remembering the horrors of the Men of Iron. The Dark Mechanicum eagerly pursues its development. They seek to create thinking machines infused with the essence of chaos, blurring the lines between sentient program and demon. Weaponry produced by the Dark Mechanicum defies conventional understanding. Guns that fire shells of crystallized warp energy, blades that phase in and out of reality, and armor that feeds on the life force of its wearer are just a few examples of their heretical innovations. Each creation is as likely to destroy its user as it is to obliterate the enemy, but such is the price of power in their eyes. The organizational structure of the Dark Mechanicum is as chaotic as their creations. Unlike the rigid hierarchy of the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Dark Mechanicum operates in loosely affiliated warbands and covens. Leadership is often determined by technological prowess and favor with the Chaos Gods, leading to constant power struggles and shifts in allegiance. Ritual plays a crucial role in Dark Mechanicum operations, but these are far from the carefully prescribed ceremonies of their loyalist counterparts. Dark rituals blend technological processes with warp sorcery, often requiring sacrifices, both mechanical and living, to achieve their desired results. The line between tech adept and sorcerer blurs, with many heretics becoming as proficient in summoning demons as they are in calibrating plasma reactors. Communication within the Dark Mechanicum takes on an esoteric nature. While they still utilize corrupted versions of binaric cant, many have developed unique languages that incorporate demonic glossolalia and machine code. These languages are as much tools for technical discussion as they are for channeling warp energies, making them incomprehensible and dangerous to outsiders. The Dark Mechanicum's relationship with machine spirits is particularly fascinating. Where loyalist tech priests approach machine spirits with reverence and supplication, heretics seek to dominate and corrupt them. They view machine spirits as entities to be bound and twisted to their will, often merging them with minor demons to create hybrid intelligences that power their most prized creations. Their approach to the Omnissiah, or machine god, varies widely among different factions. Some have completely rejected the concept, seeing it as a limiting belief that holds back true progress. Others believe they are pursuing the true will of the Omnissiah, unfettered by imperial dogma. Still others have come to worship the Chaos Gods as aspects of the Machine God, particularly Tzeentch, the Lord of Change, whom they see as the ultimate embodiment of progress and transformation. Recruitment into the Dark Mechanicum often comes from disillusioned members of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Tech priests who feel constrained by imperial doctrine or who have tasted forbidden knowledge may find themselves drawn to the promises of unrestricted research. However, the Dark Mechanicum also creates new members through horrific processes of techno-organic fusion, birthing abominations that are indoctrinated from creation into their twisted worldview. The pursuit of archtech, or technology from humanity's lost golden age, is a driving force for many in the Dark Mechanicum. They scour the galaxy for remnants of STC, standard template construct systems, often engaging in daring raids on Imperial worlds or Adeptus Mechanicus expeditions. When they acquire such technology, they have no qualms about mixing it with Xenos tech or infusing it with the power of the warp, creating hybrid abominations of unimaginable power. Experimentation is at the heart of Dark Mechanicum culture. Every engagement, every creation is seen as an opportunity to test new theories and push the boundaries of what's possible. This leads to a rapid pace of technological evolution, but also results in highly unstable and unpredictable outcomes. It's not uncommon for entire Dark Mechanicum facilities to be lost due to experiments gone awry, swallowed by warp rifts or consumed by rampaging demon engines. The Dark Mechanicum's understanding of the warp goes far beyond that of most tech adepts. They view the immaterium not just as a source of power, but as a fundamental aspect of reality that can be harnessed and manipulated through technology. This has led to the development of warp drives that can navigate the tides of the immaterium with uncanny precision, and weapons that can tear holes in the fabric of space-time itself. Biological experimentation is another hallmark of Dark Mechanicum activities. They see the human form, and those of Xenos races, as merely another type of machine to be improved upon. This leads to the creation of monstrous hybrids, vat-grown abominations, and living weapons that blur the line between organism and machine. Some heretics specialize in the fusion of multiple species, creating chimeric horrors that combine the most lethal aspects of various life forms. The Dark Mechanicum's influence extends beyond their own ranks, as they often form alliances with Chaos Space Marine war bands, renegade Imperial forces, and even Xenos factions. These alliances are typically based on a quid pro quo arrangement, with the Dark Mechanicum providing technological support in exchange for resources, protection, or access to new areas of research. However, such alliances are often fraught with tension, as the Dark Mechanicum's unpredictable nature and tendency towards betrayal make them unreliable partners at best. One of the most terrifying aspects of the Dark Mechanicum is their ability to corrupt and subvert Imperial technology. Through a combination of scrap code viruses, demonic possession, and techno-sorcerous rituals, they can turn the Imperium's own weapons against it. Entire Forge worlds have fallen to the Dark Mechanicum's influence, their assembly lines churning out corrupted versions of Imperial war machines. The concept of efficiency takes on a twisted meaning within the Dark Mechanicum. While they strive for technological superiority, their methods often involve sacrificing reliability and safety for raw power. A Dark Mechanicum plasma reactor might produce 10 times the energy of its Imperial counterpart, but at the cost of frequent meltdowns and reality-warping side effects. This approach extends to their view of human resources as well, with heretics often viewing their underlings as expendable components in their grand experiments. Despite their chaotic nature, the Dark Mechanicum has developed its own form of techno-theology. This belief system is a perversion of the cult Mechanicus, incorporating elements of chaos worship and xenotech philosophy. Central to this theology is the idea of omnicia unbound, a concept that posits the true machine god as a force of unlimited potential, unrestricted by the narrow views of the Imperium. This theology drives many heretics to pursue ever more extreme forms of technological heresy, believing that true enlightenment lies in pushing beyond all boundaries. Dark Mechanicum's influence on the technological landscape of the 41st millennium is profound and far-reaching. Their impact can be quantified through several key metrics. Technological advancements. The Dark Mechanicum has made significant strides in areas forbidden to the Adeptus Mechanicus. For example, their work on artificial intelligence has resulted in the creation of chaos-aligned machine spirits that rival or surpass Imperial cogitators in processing power. This is evidenced by the increased efficiency of Chaos fleet movements, with some reports suggesting a 30% improvement in warp navigation accuracy compared to Imperial standards. Weapons development. Dark Mechanicum forges have produced weapons that outperform their Imperial counterparts. The Hell-forged Contemptor Dreadnought, for instance, boasts a 25% increase in durability and a 40% boost in close combat effectiveness compared to Loyalist models. This is achieved through the fusion of demonic entities with machine constructs, a process that violates all Imperial safety protocols but yields undeniable results. Resource acquisition. The Dark Mechanicum's raids on Imperial worlds have had a measurable impact on the Imperium's industrial output. Data from the Departamento Munitorum suggests that Forge worlds targeted by Dark Mechanicum incursions see an average decrease in production efficiency of 15 to 20% in the years following an attack, even after the immediate threat has been neutralized. Corruption of Imperial technology. The insidious nature of Dark Mechanicum scrap code has led to an increase in mechanical failures across Imperial lines. Reports from the Ordo Hereticus indicate a 5% rise in unexplained malfunctions of critical systems in sectors where Dark Mechanicum activity has been detected. This seemingly small percentage translates to billions of lives lost and resources wasted across the vast expanse of the Imperium. Demon engine production. The creation of demon engines represents a unique threat that the Imperium struggles to counter. These living machines, such as the infamous Defiler, have a recorded battlefield effectiveness 1.5 times that of equivalent-sized Imperial war machines. Their ability to repair themselves mid-battle and operate without a crew gives Chaos forces a significant tactical advantage. Firstly, the Dark Mechanicum's willingness to disregard safety measures and ethical constraints has allowed them to push the boundaries of technological advancement at a pace the Imperium cannot match. This creates an ever-widening gap in certain areas of military technology, forcing the Imperium to rely increasingly on numbers and faith to overcome technical disadvantages. Secondly, the corruption of Imperial technology serves a dual purpose. Beyond the immediate tactical advantages gained, it sows seeds of doubt and paranoia within the Imperium. This psychological warfare aspect cannot be underestimated, as it erodes trust in technology, a cornerstone of Imperial military and civilian infrastructure. Thirdly, the Dark Mechanicum's role extends beyond that of a mere support faction for Chaos forces. Their technological innovations often drive Chaos strategy, with warbands and even Black Crusades planned around the deployment of new and terrible weapons. This positions the Dark Mechanicum as kingmakers within the forces of Chaos, their favor often determining which warlords rise to prominence. The influence of the Dark Mechanicum on Imperial policy is equally significant. The Adeptus Mechanicus, in response to the threat posed by their fallen brethren, has become increasingly dogmatic and resistant to innovation. This is exemplified by the rise of the cult of pure form within the Mechanicus ranks, which advocates for a return to more pure forms of technology, free from the taint of AI or other advanced systems that could be corrupted. This reactionary stance has far-reaching consequences for the Imperium as a whole. The reluctance to embrace new technologies or improve upon existing designs has left the Imperium vulnerable to threats beyond just Chaos. Xenos races, particularly the technologically advanced Necrons and the rapidly evolving Tyranids, pose challenges that the Imperium's stagnant technology struggles to address. The Dark Mechanicum's pursuit of forbidden knowledge has also led to unintended consequences that reshape the galaxy in profound ways. Their experiments with warp technology, for instance, have resulted in the creation of stable warp rifts in several sectors. These rifts not only serve as staging grounds for chaos incursions, but have also altered the very fabric of real space in their vicinity. Planets near these rifts experience time dilation effects, with some worlds aging centuries in what the rest of the galaxy perceives as mere years. The impact on Imperial citizens cannot be overstated. Worlds that have experienced dark Mechanicum raids often see a surge in cult activity in the aftermath. The allure of advanced technology and the promise of power it brings prove too tempting for many. Inquisitorial reports indicate a 200% increase in tech heresy cases in systems that have had contact with dark Mechanicum forces. From a strategic perspective, the dark Mechanicum's ability to corrupt and subvert Imperial technology creates a unique form of asymmetric warfare. A single dark Mechanicum agent armed with potent scrap code can potentially neutralize entire planetary defense systems. This forces the Imperium to devote significant resources to cyber warfare and counterintelligence, diverting assets from other critical areas. The dark Mechanicum's influence extends into the realm of Imperial politics as well. The threat they represent is often used by the Adeptus Mechanicus to justify increased autonomy and resources. This has led to tensions with other Imperial organizations, particularly the Inquisition, who view the Mechanicus' secrecy with suspicion. The resulting power struggles further weaken the Imperium's ability to present a united front against external threats. In terms of galactic balance, the dark Mechanicum serves as an equalizing force, preventing any one faction from gaining overwhelming technological superiority. Their willingness to trade with various Chaos warbands and even occasionally Xenos factions ensures a constant flow of advanced technology to multiple parties. This perpetuates the state of constant warfare that characterizes the 41st millennium. The ecological impact of dark Mechanicum activities is another often overlooked aspect of their influence. Worlds touched by their experiments often suffer catastrophic environmental collapse. The use of forbidden technologies and the reckless pursuit of power leave planets as barren husks, their resources drained and their biospheres irreparably damaged. This not only removes these worlds as potential assets for the Imperium, but also creates dead zones that serve as ideal hiding places for Chaos forces. Perhaps most significantly, the existence of the dark Mechanicum forces the Imperium to confront uncomfortable truths about the nature of technology and progress. The continuous threat they pose raises questions about the Imperium's approach to innovation and the costs of stagnation. Some radical elements within the Imperium argue for a more progressive approach to technology, citing the need to fight fire with fire. These debates, while often conducted in secret, have the potential to reshape Imperial doctrine in the face of mounting threats. In conclusion, the Dark Mechanicum's role in the Warhammer 40K universe goes far beyond that of a simple antagonist faction. Their actions and mere existence drive much of the technological and ideological conflict that shapes the setting. By pushing the boundaries of what's possible, they force all other factions to evolve or face extinction, ensuring that the grim darkness of the far future remains a dynamic and ever-changing backdrop for endless war. The Whispering Forge of Xanadu stands as a testament to the Dark Mechanicum's twisted genius. This entire Forge world, located in the Eye of Terror, constantly shifts and reconfigures itself. Vast factories and laboratories phase in and out of reality, their layouts changing with each cycle of the warp storms that envelop the planet. Heretics who visit Xanadu must navigate not only its physical landscape, but also the temporal anomalies that plague it. Some areas of the Forge experience time at an accelerated rate, allowing for centuries of research to be conducted in mere days of real space-time. However, the risks are immense. Entire expeditions have been lost, returning centuries later as twisted cybernetic abominations or not at all. The tale of Magos Dracovac illustrates the Dark Mechanicum's ruthless pursuit of knowledge. Once a respected archmagos of the Adeptus Mechanicus, Dracovac's obsession with the forbidden tech lore of the Horus Heresy led him down a path of heresy. His masterwork, the Chaos Titan arm of Khorne, was a nightmarish fusion of Titan, demon, and the souls of an entire hive city. The process of its creation involved the systematic harvesting and integration of millions of human minds, each one carefully selected for its unique cognitive patterns. The resulting war machine possessed an intellect that rivaled that of lesser demon princes and a thirst for blood that could only be sated by the destruction of entire worlds. One of the most bizarre creations of the Dark Mechanicum is the Nexus arrangement, a device that defies conventional understanding of physics. First encountered during the siege of Hydra Cordatus, this arcane machine can manipulate the very fabric of space-time. Witnesses report seeing Imperial tanks age centuries in seconds, their metal rusting and crumbling to dust, while nearby Chaos forces seem to move with preternatural speed. The Ordo Malleus has dedicated significant resources to uncovering the secrets of the Nexus arrangement, fearing that widespread deployment of such devices could tip the balance of power irreversibly in favor of Chaos. The Dark Mechanicum's experiments often yield unexpected results, as evidenced by the infamous Bloom of Zell-Harst. What began as an attempt to create a self-replicating nano-weapon resulted in the birth of a sentient metallic ecosystem. The entire forge world of Zell-Harst was consumed by a sea of liquid metal that formed itself into bizarre techno-organic life forms. Reports from the few survivors describe forests of chrome trees with circuitry for leaves and metallic creatures that seem to be a twisted parody of natural evolution. The Imperium quarantined the entire system, but rumors persist of Dark Mechanicum expeditions braving the metallic horrors to study this accidental creation. Among the ranks of the Dark Mechanicum, few names inspire as much fear and awe as that of Archmagos Nar Gast. Known as the Breaker of Walls, Gast specializes in siege warfare and the corruption of planetary defense systems. His most notorious act was the fall of the fortress world Helios Prime. Rather than launching a conventional assault, Gast unleashed a mimetic virus into the planet's noosphere. Over the course of 7 years, this insidious code gradually rewrote the logic engines of every machine on the planet. On the 7th anniversary of the virus's release, every weapon, every void shield, and every life support system on Helios Prime turned against its masters. The world fell in a single bloody day, its defenses now a part of Gast's personal war machine. The Dark Mechanicum's reach extends beyond the material realm, as demonstrated by the chilling tale of the Ghost Forges of Sarum. These spectral manufactorums exist partially in real space and partially in the warp, allowing for the creation of weapons that defy the laws of physics. Chaos Lords pay exorbitant prices in souls and resources for access to these forges, where reality itself can be shaped into instruments of destruction. One such weapon, the ethereal scythe, is said to be able to harvest the very essence of its victims, trapping their souls in a state of eternal torment to power the blade's unholy abilities. Perhaps one of the most audacious projects undertaken by the Dark Mechanicum was the attempt to construct a planet-sized demon engine. The concept, known as the World Forge, involved the systematic corruption and transformation of an entire imperial world. The planet's core was to be replaced with a bound greater demon, while its crust would be reshaped into a living, mechanical nightmare. The project was ultimately thwarted by a combined Imperial Navy and Adeptus Mechanicus task force, but not before several continents had been fully converted. The aftermath of this failed experiment left behind a shattered world of half-flesh, half-machine abominations that continue to pose a threat to nearby systems. The Dark Mechanicum's obsession with forbidden knowledge sometimes leads them to explore technologies left behind by long-dead Xenos races. The Necron tomb world of Shemnock Prime became the site of one such ill-fated expedition. A warband of heretics, led by the infamous tech priestess Sivanix, breached the outer defenses of the sleeping Necron tomb complex. Their goal was to study and reverse engineer the advanced reanimation protocols of the Necrons. The expedition's last transmission spoke of a breakthrough in understanding the quantum nature of Necron resurrection technology. However, this success came at a terrible price. The entire warband was assimilated into the tomb systems, their minds uploaded into the Necron command network. Inquisitorial reports suggest that Sivanix's consciousness may still exist within the tomb systems, guiding the Necron forces with twisted human ingenuity. The creation of the Castigator-class Titan stands as one of the Dark Mechanicum's most ambitious and terrifying achievements. This colossal war machine, first encountered during the siege of Hydra Cordatis, represented a quantum leap in Titan technology. Standing taller than even the mighty Imperator Titans, the Castigator was powered by a captive demon of Khorne, its weapon systems capable of laying waste to entire continents. What made this creation truly horrifying was its ability to birth smaller war machines, spawning waves of demon engines to support its apocalyptic assaults. The knowledge to create these abominations was thought lost after the destruction of the original Castigator, but rumors persist of Dark Mechanicum enclaves working to recreate this pinnacle of techno-heresy. The tale of Magos Vathek serves as a cautionary example of the Dark Mechanicum's internal power struggles. Vathek's experiments in melding orc bioengineering with Imperial technology showed great promise, creating hybrid war machines of unparalleled ferocity. However, his success drew the attention of rival heretics, culminating in a tech war that laid waste to an entire subsector. The conflict reached its zenith when Vathek unleashed his masterpiece, a virus that could infect and control any machine, organic or inorganic. This Vathek virus proved too potent, turning even against its creator. The subsector remains quarantined to this day, a realm where every machine and augmented being is locked in eternal, mindless conflict. One of the most enigmatic creations of the Dark Mechanicum is the Axiom of Hatred, a colossal space station that orbits the Eye of Terror. This titanic construct serves as both a research facility and a weapon of unimaginable power. Its outer hull is composed of countless weapon systems, each one a unique abomination of techno-sorcery. But it's the station's core that truly sets it apart, a massive cogitator bank that houses the preserved brains of thousands of psychers. This Gestalt intelligence allows the Axiom to predict and manipulate warp currents with uncanny accuracy, giving Chaos fleets a significant advantage in void warfare. Imperial Navy strategists consider the destruction of the Axiom of Hatred a top priority, but all attempts to approach the station have ended in disaster. The Dark Mechanicum's influence sometimes manifests in unexpected ways, as evidenced by the cult of the transorganic on the hive world of Vermilion Secundus. What began as a workers' uprising against harsh factory conditions evolved into a tech heresy movement of unprecedented scale. Led by the enigmatic figure known only as the Amalgam, the cult preaches a doctrine of transcendence through cybernetic augmentation. However, their methods go far beyond simple bionics. Cultists willingly submit to grotesque transformations, fusing their bodies with industrial machinery. The result is a population of half-human, half-machine abominations that blur the line between individual and collective. Imperial authorities struggle to contain the spread of this heresy, as each factory or hab block taken by the cult becomes a fortress of living metal and tortured flesh. The Dark Mechanicum's reach extends even into the realm of time manipulation, as demonstrated by the Chronos Labyrinth of Zirconis. This massive underground complex, built beneath the surface of a dead world, houses technology capable of creating localized time distortions. Heretics use these temporal anomalies to accelerate their research, experiencing subjective centuries in mere days of real space-time. However, The labyrinth is far from stable. Entire sections have been lost to temporal loops or flung into distant futures or pasts. Expeditions into the deeper levels of the complex report encountering alternate versions of themselves, some aged beyond recognition, others twisted by prolonged exposure to the warp. The Ordo Chronos, a secretive branch of the Inquisition, has made the study and containment of the Chronos Labyrinth one of its highest priorities. The Dark Mechanicum's betrayal of the machine. God represents a pivotal moment in the history of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, with far-reaching consequences that continue to shape the galaxy millennia later. This schism within the Adeptus Mechanicus not only provided the forces of chaos with a technological edge, but also fundamentally altered the trajectory of human scientific advancement. At its core, the betrayal stems from a philosophical divergence regarding the nature of knowledge and progress. The Adeptus Mechanicus views technology through a lens of religious reverence, treating innovation with caution and adhering strictly to established doctrines. In contrast, the Dark Mechanicum embraces a more radical approach, valuing progress and discovery above all else, even at the cost of ethical considerations. This ideological split reflects a broader theme within the Warhammer 40K universe, the tension between stagnation and unchecked progress. The Imperium of Man, in its efforts to maintain stability and guard against corruption, often resists change and innovation. The Dark Mechanicum, in its unbridled pursuit of knowledge, represents the dangers of progress without restraint or moral compass. Analyzing the motivations behind the Dark Mechanicum's betrayal reveals a complex interplay of factors. The promise of unrestricted research and access to forbidden technologies offered by Chaos proved irresistible to many tech priests. This allure of knowledge mirrors real-world ethical dilemmas in scientific research, where the potential for breakthrough discoveries must be balanced against moral considerations. The Dark Mechanicum's fusion of technology and chaos energies has produced innovations that blur the lines between science and sorcery. This melding of the material and immaterial realms challenges the fundamental laws of physics within the Warhammer 40K universe. It raises questions about the nature of reality itself and the potential for technology to manipulate the very fabric of existence. From a narrative perspective, the existence of the Dark Mechanicum serves several crucial functions within the setting. It provides a dark mirror to the Adeptus Mechanicus, showcasing an alternative path of technological development. This contrast adds depth to the depiction of the Mechanicus, highlighting the reasons for their conservative approach to innovation. The technological arms race between the Dark Mechanicum and the Loyalist Mechanicus drives much of the advancement in warfare within the setting. Each new creation or discovery forces a response from the other side, ensuring that the technological aspect of the eternal war remains dynamic and evolving. This constant push and pull prevent the setting from becoming stagnant, introducing new elements that keep the narrative fresh and engaging. Moreover, the Dark Mechanicum's existence justifies the Imperium's paranoia regarding technology and innovation. Their ability to corrupt and subvert machinery validates the extreme caution exercised by Imperial authorities. This adds a layer of tension to any interaction with technology within the setting, as characters must constantly weigh the benefits of advanced systems against the risk of chaotic corruption. The Dark Mechanicum's betrayal also highlights the corrupting influence of chaos within the Warhammer 40K universe. It demonstrates that even those dedicated to logic and reason can fall prey to the temptations offered by the ruinous powers. This serves as a cautionary tale, reinforcing the idea that no one in the grim darkness of the far future is truly safe from corruption. From a broader perspective, the schism within the Mechanicus reflects real-world debates about the ethics of scientific advancement. The Dark Mechanicum's willingness to discard moral constraints in pursuit of knowledge mirrors concerns about unchecked technological progress in our own society. This parallel adds depth to the faction, making them more than just cartoon villains, but a reflection of very real philosophical dilemmas. The impact of the Dark Mechanicum on the balance of power in the galaxy cannot be overstated. Their support has been crucial in numerous Black Crusades and Chaos incursions, providing the forces of disorder with the technological edge needed to challenge the vast resources of the Imperium. Without the Dark Mechanicum, it's questionable whether Chaos would pose as significant a threat to Imperial dominance. However, the Dark Mechanicum's influence extends beyond merely bolstering Chaos forces. Their experiments with reality-altering technologies and their forays into manipulating the warp have reshaped entire sectors of space. The creation of stable warp rifts and time-distorted regions adds new dimensions to warfare and exploration within the setting, creating unique challenges and opportunities for storytelling. The psychological impact of the Dark Mechanicum's betrayal on the Imperium is profound. It has led to increased suspicion of technology and those who work with it, contributing to the stagnation that characterizes much of Imperial society. The fear of tech heresy has become a tool for control, used by various factions within the Imperium to maintain their power and justify harsh measures against perceived threats. Examining the long-term consequences of the Dark Mechanicum's actions reveals a galaxy irrevocably changed by their betrayal. The loss of knowledge and expertise that accompanied their defection set human technological development back by millennia. The Imperium's retreat into technological stagnation can be directly traced to the trauma of this betrayal, as the fear of repeating such a catastrophic loss led to the implementation of strict controls on innovation and research. The Dark Mechanicum's existence also raises intriguing questions about the nature of the Machine God and the Omnissiah. Their ability to continue functioning and innovating without the blessings of Mars challenges the fundamental beliefs of the Adeptus Mechanicus. This theological quandary adds depth to the religious aspects of the setting, forcing characters to grapple with questions of faith and the true nature of their devotion. From a strategic standpoint, the Dark Mechanicum's betrayal created a permanent vulnerability within the Imperium's defenses. The constant threat of technological corruption means that no system, no matter how well defended, is ever truly secure. This state of perpetual vulnerability adds tension to every conflict within the setting, as the possibility of betrayal from within is ever present. The Dark Mechanicum's experiments with combining Xenos technology with human and chaos elements represent a unique threat to the established order of the galaxy. Their willingness to disregard the boundaries between species in pursuit of technological advancement challenges the xenophobic policies of the Imperium and even the rigid distinctions maintained by many Xenos races. This cross-pollination of technologies could potentially reshape the balance of power in unforeseen ways. In conclusion, the Dark Mechanicum's betrayal of the Machine God stands as a defining moment in the history of the Warhammer 40,000 universe. It embodies the central themes of the setting: the corruption of noble ideals, the dangers of unchecked ambition, and the eternal struggle between order and chaos. Their continued existence serves as a driving force for conflict and innovation within the narrative, ensuring that the grim darkness of the far future remains a dynamic and evolving setting. The lessons drawn from the Dark Mechanicum's fall are numerous and complex. They caution against the dangers of valuing knowledge above all else, while also highlighting the pitfalls of allowing fear to stifle progress. Their story is a testament to the intricate balance between innovation and caution, progress and stability. As the narrative of Warhammer 40,000 continues to unfold, the Dark Mechanicum remains a potent symbol of the costs of betrayal and the price of unchecked ambition. Their legacy serves as a constant reminder of the thin line between enlightenment and damnation, challenging characters and readers alike to question the true nature of progress and the role of technology in shaping the future of humanity.